Hello there. This video is designed to help you learn how to do animations in PowerPoint. And this can be for fun, a form of graphic design. Also, it can be used sometimes when you do a presentation to make things seem a little more interesting. So we're going to go to PowerPoint. I'm going to open up there, and I'm just going to go ahead and choose this particular image to show you an example of this. So you see there, those images. Now, did you notice the animation? The different characters moving back and forth? That was all something that I did in PowerPoint. It's a very easy way to do pretty silly but fun animations. So let me show you how it's done. Let's close on that. I'm going to end my show. All right. Now, what I've done here is I have created a background that involves Super Mario Brothers. If you ever played those games, a lot of fun. And what I'm going to do is include some sort of object or picture that I want to animate. So I'm going to go up here to Pictures. And I'll go to this device. And I have a folder that I have some of these items here, and there's Mario there. So I'll go ahead and choose that. And he's there. Now, when you have an image, of course, you can put your cursor on it. You can hold down the left key of your mouse, and you can move him around. So he goes bing, 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 just like that. It's a lot of fun, at least for me. Get the coins and fall down, but then he goes backwards and then dies. Okay, there we go. So I want him to do it by himself. And so whenever you have an object you want it to be animated in PowerPoint, you go up here to the animation section. Okay, and so what this does is allows you to be able to move objects in whatever show you're doing. So the animation pane right here is what you'll need to be able to keep track of what you're doing and to make changes so it does exactly what you want it to do. Now, over in this window here, you'll see all these different effects. So, for example, if I want that object to fade, you watch Mario down below on the left, if I want him to fly in, if I want him to float in or split, okay, and as it keeps going, I like him to bounce. That's always fun. Or you can grow and turn, and so on. Okay. Now to do now those ones you saw there, those are usually what happens when it first arrives, and then some of these can happen as he leaves. So if it's like time to go, then he can spin and then eventually leave the page. And then if you choose one of those, you can go to Effect Options, and you can decide right here whether you want him to turn a certain way or a certain amount or that sort of thing. Now, did you notice that when I added over here in the animation page an animation, this appeared? Now be aware of that because we're going to be using that in just a minute. Now I'm going to go down here. So there's lots of different ways that you can do it, but I want them to move. And at the very bottom of this, you see what's called, there's different, you can create a line, lines, arcs, turns, and so on, where you can travel. So let's do turn, for example. And so you see how he followed a line and he turned. Now that's done automatically. So if I do a line, he'll just travel. Okay, now if I want him to go up, I would go to the effect options and go up. And there he goes. But then back to the beginning. But I'd like to create my own path, just like you saw with the Dr. Seuss characters. So I'm going to go here to custom path. Now you of course can create your own shapes or your loops, but I like to do the path. Now the way it works is that I click on the path, and then I go, you'll see how there's the plus sign that's right there. You see it? Then I will go to my starting point and I will hold down the left key of my mouse. So the left key of your touchpad, if that's what you're using, and you're going to then very carefully draw the path that he will follow. So I'm going to hold this down and then I'm going to draw where he's going to curve and touch that. And he's going to bounce. You can see the line sort of following me. Okay, and bounce, 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 and there. Now, when I reach the end, I need to double click quick, so then it stops. Whoa! Did you see that? That was pretty quick. All right, so this is where you go to the animation pane and you can make changes. So I'm going to click here. So this shows you the animation. I can play it. It shows it again. So I kind of look and see where I want it to go. And then I'm going to click on the arrow here where you can either start it on the click, so when you click your mouse, or if you want it to automatically happen if you're doing a presentation. Well, let's go to Effect Options, and this gives you a chance to change things up. This will tell you like what the path is, and if it's got kind of a smooth start, you can kind of play with that. If you have any sounds you want to have be with it. So I'll say, are there any sounds I want? Let's do a drum roll. Let's do a drum roll. I'll do that. Now, if I go to timing, this will tell me how fast it's going to go. So you have tells you when you want it to start automatically or by your mouse. If you want to delay after you click the trigger, but here it says duration. You'll notice it says it only takes 2 seconds for it to travel the route. That's way too fast. So maybe I'll go to extremely slow. Let's try that to 20 seconds. There's my drum roll. I don't know. That feels a little boring, a little bit too slow. All right, so I'm thinking, well, I don't know, that may be too slow. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to click on that, go back to my options, go to timing. I think, okay, that's too slow. Well, let's now go to very slow, which is 5 seconds. Well, that's a big gap there. Let's try that. Yeah, maybe that might work. The nice thing about this is you can choose your own time. So I can go to timing. I'm going to say, well, one was too fast, one was too slow. So let's go here to, I'm going to just click on it and I'll type in 10 seconds. It's 10 seconds. It's a little better. It's a little better. Okay. Very nice. So that's kind of where I want to be. Now you'll notice if I click on the path itself, okay, you see how the path is there? It creates kind of a box where I can adjust it a little bit. So if I move it up and down, you see how it kind of goes up and down like that. But it's necessarily going to work. And so if you're like, yeah, I don't really like that path, you can click on the path itself, push the backspace, and it'll make it go away. And then you can go back and try something new. So I'm going to say, okay, well, I need to click on my picture, go back down here to the very bottom, do a custom path. This time he's going to take a different route. So I noticed that his foot liked to kind of stick down a little bit. There's some kids looking at me from the windows. I wonder who they are. All right, so I'm going to start from the center. I'm going to go bonk, boink, and he's going to go boink, because I like to make sound effects. Double click. Whoa. All right, so let's go back here. And we can, let's go to timing. And again, I'll make that about 10 seconds. And we'll take it from there. Well, I don't know. Maybe that might be too short this time. We'll have to start too slow. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that one may be a little too slow. Okay, so let's go here to 5 seconds. Let's try that. Yeah, a little bit better, a little bit better. But again, I have to, where he lands, maybe not quite what I want. So I think, well, okay, that's great. And so you have a lot of options. For example, if you want him to travel just straight, so if you have a different one, you can go from there and then go down to the bottom here and you can just do a line. So you can just choose a line. Now, of course, you notice as I click on that, let's see here if I can click. You should be able to see, oh, there we go. So you see that little arrow that's there at the bottom? This will allow you to, so if I want to click on him, you see the double image, go to Effect Options and go like to the right, okay? And then I can, there we go, there's that, but I want to click on him again. You see that arrow right there? Then I can stretch it to show you where the ending is going to go. Or I can move it up here like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push play and then let's go to the beginning. Oh, that's where he started. Okay, so let's go back here and let's actually, oh, the green arrow is where he starts and the red is where he ends. Okay, so let's go there and then let's see if I can, there you go. So you go ahead and grab it and then you can move him up here. So he's going to go up there. All right, so now let's do it. Ta-da. All right, that works. Now you'll notice here under effect options that you can actually, like if I click on them, all right, and then I go to effect options, sometimes you can either reverse it, and sometimes if you've got a freehand, you can actually edit the points, so you can edit the actual path as you wish, okay? So there's a lot here to practice with. You can make some pretty silly and fun animations. It's very basic, but it gives you a chance to learn a little more about Photoshop, or forgive me, about PowerPoint, and also about animation. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll talk to you again soon.